Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome again to my podcast, Snacks Thoughts. I say welcome again to my podcast, Snacks Thoughts. And so, what is my thought for tonight? Well, I was reading an article by the New York Times, and the author is a Jonah E. Bromwich. And so, the article basically, talked about Manhattan District Attorney Cyrus R. Vance Jr., that they were no longer going to prosecute prostitution. And I'm saying again, they were no longer going to prosecute prostitution. Now, understand that the district attorneys in Brooklyn, Queens, and the Bronx, they no longer prosecute for prostitution either. And so what the alternative is, for those that would be arrested, they just are referred to social services. And I thought it was kind of interesting, that in America that they are, basically getting to the point where they're going to legalize, sex workers, and New York City is already joining, they're joining Baltimore and Philadelphia, who no longer prosecute, prostitution. So they're following suit, and they're going to be a host of other, states in America, and eventually it'll be all 50 states will no longer bother prosecuting prostitution, because the politicians, their consensus is that sex work, should be legal because women need to make a living. And I'd mentioned in several other podcasts about how this economy, was doing, so bad. And I had said, instead of recession, that, we're actually in a depression, And a lot of times we hear the big news media guys, NBC, you hear like different reports, the Bloomberg reports, that they're talking about, finance and the state of the economy and the so-called unemployment rate, which anyone with common sense would know that it's obviously much higher. I honestly believe that the unemployment rate in the United States is probably about at least 30%. But anyway, let me get back on track. But the reason why I alluded to that is when your economy if it's supposed to be so good, why would politicians go to making laws to making sex work legal in America? So that, notice they said so that women can make a living. They never said about men. It said so that women can make a living, which tells me that this system that we have here in America, that basically is broken. And they can't afford it, They can't afford to keep on printing up money and paying out, I guess, the bennies, so they have to basically make prostitution legal. I mean, that's basically, what they're saying. And there's, in Manhattan alone, I think there was something like they had 914 cases for prostitution that they was doing away with, and taking an additional 5,080. And that's just Manhattan. Now, Staten Island, I don't really know anything about them if they have gone away from it, but I'm quite sure if all the other 4 boroughs in New York City are going away from the prosecution of prostitution, I'm quite sure they're going to do the same as well. But, when did you ever think that you would see legalized prostitution in the modern era in the United States of America, but yet we're here, and at the rate that we're going in this depression, I kind of see the United States, it's kind of becoming more like overseas, where they're getting more open, and casual sex, obviously, on the planet is really, not really much of a big deal. anymore, but I guess they're gonna make it legal. Everything from OnlyFans to, I guess, maybe the streetwalkers. Now, I still do understand that they are still prosecuting, I guess, the pimps or whatever like that. But if the ladies choose to, participate in sex work, it's no longer being prosecuted in, basically in New York City, Baltimore or Philadelphia. So, what state, have we come to in America? And like I said, I'm not knocking it. I've been overseas before, and they have their red light districts, so it's really no big deal. My thing is, what I would say, okay, if you're going to legalize it, then definitely, you have to put standards and rules. If you're going to standardize it, make sure that the females that choose to participate in it, make sure that they get weekly checkups at their gynecologist to make sure that they're fine and make sure they don't have any STDs, no UTIs, you know the deal, and have a health card. And overseas, the sex workers have a health card. And what that health card does, it tells you the history of everything that sex work, every disease or whatever that they've had. And if they are not, that do not have a clean bill of health, then they cannot work or operate that industry because they don't want, those workers infecting the clients or the patrons, those that choose to patronize it. And I would say, do the same thing here in America. I mean, yeah, we have the Bunny Ranch in Vegas, but I guess, hey, once New York City gets with it, you got Baltimore and Philadelphia, it's going to push out and spread. And so I think it would, if they're going to, that's what they choose to do, to be sex workers, whether it's male or female, legalize it, make sure that they have their health cards and make sure they're getting their weekly checkups, so that way they're not infecting, any of the patrons, and make sure they, practice it and do it safely, since they've already gone this far. So if they're no longer prosecuting it, that tells you there's a breakdown in the economy, because at the end of the day, it's all about money. And so I'll have to think that obviously they're going to have these sex workers, paying taxes on it, So if you're going to have them pay taxes on it, it couldn't be no worse than the gig economy, which they're trying to make that like regular jobs and with health benefits and stuff like that. So, have the ladies, pay, or whatever, even if it's men, have them, pay into a health plan, have something set up where maybe they can pay into, I guess a retirement or even take out Social Security. Hey, and then this is what they're headed to. And like I said, I'm not tripping over it. It's not a big deal, to me, but, America, we were considered, with the Bible Belt to be, Christian and more conservative. But as you see, our values and our mores are breaking down and eroding, as this economy and money is tight, But yeah. Never thought, that I'd see the day, but, politicians are rolling with it, and, it has already begun. So, Manhattan, the Bronx, Brooklyn, and Queens no longer prosecuting, for prostitution, and Baltimore and Philly, is, doing the same thing. So, but hey, more to come, I'm not knocking anybody's hustle. If that's what they want to do, or if that's what they got to do to survive, hey, just make sure it's safe and, make sure they're healthy and, legalize it and make sure that the sex workers, that they can do what they do in a safe and non-hostile environment. But that's all I had just on this New York Times article. And what I'll do, I'll leave the link to the article. And it'll be linked, in the podcast, or when I transfer it to my YouTube channel, I'll leave the link in both, in my podcast in the description. So that way, if you choose to check out or view the article, you can just see for yourself. But interesting times that we're in, where prostitution is now becoming legalized in the United States. How about that? And I mean, I know way back in the days that it was, but I guess the women, decided to have it outlawed this way back in the days. But modern day times, prostitution, oldest profession in the book, coming back around. Anyway, guys, that's all I have on this podcast, The Snacks Thoughts. But again, yes, New York City no longer prosecuting prostitution. The name of my podcast is Snacks Thoughts. That's SNAKZTHOUGHTS, Snacks Thoughts. And I also have a YouTube channel, Eric Broadus YouTube, ERICBROADUS, YouTube, or ericbroadusyoutube.com. And so if you go over to my YouTube channel, smash that bell to subscribe, smash the like button. If you don't like the videos, then smash the unlike button. But please leave comments. Love the dialogue with you. And also subscribe to Snacks Thoughts. You can find me on Anchor, Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Listen, and Radio PBM, and a host of other social media platforms. But share both. Push them out. Snacks Thoughts and Eric Broadus YouTube. Share it with your family, friends, enemies, frenemies, co-workers, cats, goats, rats, bats, cats, roaches, and dogs, and spiders. Share it. Push it out, guys. But that's all I have on this one. Yeah, can you believe it? All right. Legalizing prostitution in America. How about that? Peace out, guys. See you soon, and I'll catch you on the next one.